Okay, the next part that we're going to start working on is the face. It's because it's the most complicated thing on the entire doll. Now you can see here I have appliqued down 2 circles of white. I've done some stem stitches in black around the eyes. I've added doll eyes in. I've never used doll eyes before this project. All of the dolls that I had made previously, I had simply used pieces of black felt and cut them out really tiny and put them into my doll's eyes and appliqued them down. And you can also see we've got some straight stitches here around the nose. Now, when you're working with really small pieces of felt, especially these triangles, you can see it's only about the size of my fingernail, a little smaller. These can start to fray and come apart. The reason is because felt is a laid fabric, meaning it's not woven together. It's just kind of pressed and mushed together until it comes together in knots almost. So what we're going to be doing is doing the face first, and you can see I have my little kitty cut out here, and this is the face. Now the reason I do the faces like this, even if I wanted to make a cat that was all this toast color, I would still cut out a piece of felt like this to put down onto the face. It's because of my doll work in the past was very large, and sometimes the felt would pull and act strangely if I tried to just embroider or sew right on top of the piece that was going to be used for the head. So I came up with this method that I call patch face, which works out much better. Now, because felt can fray and come apart, there are some pieces that sometimes I like to stiffen. These I've stiffened myself. This piece right here, and this is just pink. This is the back part of it that I stiffened. This is wool blend felt, and this means wool and acrylic. And what I do is I have a little container here, and this is a 50-50 solution of Aleene's tacky glue and water. I mix it up and I paint it on using a brush. It takes the better part of a day to dry, but you can see I can make a pretty big piece. Now, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, and I don't use it for very large pieces. I use it mostly for tiny pieces, like say a nose. You'll notice I'm using a different pair of scissors here. These are what I call my cruddy everyday scissors. I'm not using my good sewing scissors on this. And you can see it gets a little, come on, focus on me. It's a little wibbly looking, a little wibbly in the texture. So you can, if you want to use this, flip it over and draw the nose, or cut it out, or use the pattern piece, or use the freezer method. I like doing this because this piece is a triangular piece, and the little corners can fray a little bit. And you can see on the kitty nose that I don't sew it on, I glue it on. And that's one of the first pieces that is going to get glued down. So I'm going to talk a little bit more in the next part about the eyes and how we're going to be putting those together, and also cutting out these last little pieces for the ears.